in September, October, on a scale of 100. And at the time I made this prediction, his popularity was around 68%. I believe that his popularity will be around 40%. But the figures that came out today are very interesting. Now, mind you, we're 5 months into this presidency, and he came out with a 32% of Americans expressing strong approval of his actions, and 34% expressing strong disapproval. Now, these are the very opinionated people who speak out, and they're the most important ones. And so he's a minus 2%, down from a plus 30, and well on his way to having an overall approval rating of 40%. And if he continues the way he is, he will probably be down on a Rasmussen basis to somewhere in the vicinity of 15 sometime next year. That's, of course, if he stays in office. There's all kinds of lawsuits in courts challenging the fact whether he's a citizen. I have a piece going in tomorrow's Forecaster, very logical. And I did not write it, somebody else did. And what the gentleman said who wrote it was this. Back, I guess it was in the 1980s, that Mr. Obama went to Pakistan. And Pakistan, at that time, was off limits to Americans, people with a U.S. passport. So if he was to have gone there, he wouldn't go there with an American passport. It would have had to have been either a British or an Indonesian passport. Now, as a child, he went from Kenya, which had British passports, to Indonesia. So he had to have a passport to get in there. Otherwise, they wouldn't have accepted him, even though he's a child. So that means that he is not a U.S. citizen. And I think you're going to see moves in this direction which may and probably will finally disqualify him from being President of the United States. And I think people are starting to get the message here. I'm going to do a piece, and I'm going to have it on Fox, CBS, NBC, ABC over the next week or so about these ratings and why. And, of course, we got a whole bunch of reasons why the economy's dreadful. His policies haven't changed much from the previous administration. The people he appointed are just Team A to replace Team B from the Skull and Bones and the Council on Foreign Relations and so on and so forth. And his foreign policy is the same as the previous administration. And he has set up a corporatist fascist system whereby we bail out all of the large banks, financial houses, insurance companies, and General Motors and Chrysler. Free economies don't do those things. And so these are the basic reasons why his popularity is down, including the employment situation, which degenerates every month. Maybe it's not a record downside every month, but people are starting to realize that 9.4% is not the real number for unemployment. Even the government admits under U6, which is another formula that they use, which includes more people, they admit to 16.4%, and they're using the birth-death model. And to make a long story short, it's just an arbitrary way of creating jobs that don't exist, so the public won't get upset. And the real rate of unemployment is 20.4%.
How's that compared to the rate of employment when Obama took office? Do you know offhand?
Let me think for a minute. 4 months ago, U6 was around 13.4%.
Well, then we're up 7% and almost 2% a month.
13.4%. It's gone up, 3 percentage points.
I understand. I believe we've got about 20 seconds before we're going to take a break. We'll take a couple of commercial announcements, and Bob and I will be back shortly. I'm Alfred Adisk. Our guest is Bob Chapman. This is Financial Survival, brought to you by Discount Gold and Silver at 1-800-375-4188. Hi, folks. I'm Alfred Adisk. I'm sitting in for Melody Cedarstrom here on Financial Survival, brought to you by Discount Gold and Silver. For all your gold and silver coin needs, give Melody Cedarstrom a call at 1-800-375-4188. Again, that's 1-800-375-4188. And if you call, you can ask for a complimentary copy of the International Forecaster. That's the newsletter that's edited and published by our guest, Mr. Robert Chapman. And get a free copy. Just give them a call, 1-800-375-4188. Bob, why don't you give them a little description of the International Forecaster?
Well, the forecast is about business, finance, economic, social, political issues all over the world. We publish by email on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Usually runs around 35 or 40 pages each time. And we have a hard copy that goes out to those who are not on the Internet twice a month. You can visit our site on the Internet, and that address is theinternationalforecaster.com. theinternationalforecaster.com. If you have any questions, you can email us, and that address is Bob, B-O-B, at INTFORECASTER.com. That's Bob at intforecaster.com. You can get a free copy there. You can get one from Melody.
I've got a question for you to start the second half. It touches on the notion, the strong suspicion that Obama may not truly be eligible to be President of the United States. And what troubles me about this is that if that's true, this information was first uncovered and advanced by an attorney who was closely associated with the Clintons, and this was prior to the Democratic, it was during the Democratic primary and before Obama had won the Democratic nomination. And yet Hillary did not use this information. And she has to be about as hungry to be president as any person on the face of the earth, and yet she did not bring this issue up. And McCain, the Republican, the information was available to him. The Republican Party did not question Obama's eligibility. And this issue could have made a difference in this election, certainly. And what disturbs me about this is that apparently both parties were complicit in allowing an ineligible individual to become president, and that cannot happen unless someone has an enormous, compelling need to have Obama in the White House, or at least so it appears to me. Does that strike you as plausible? And if it's plausible, do you have any explanation? Why would they want why would anyone dare to try to elect someone who's not eligible to the office?
Because they think their power is greater than any other power on earth. They think that they are untouchable. They think that in their arrogant ways that they know what's better for us than we do. Obama was starting to be trained in the early 1990s. Information that I get from former KGB people who were high up in the Communist Party in Russia. And they had all this information almost 20 years ago. And so they know all about it. Our agencies know all about it. And so people understood who were in a position to know, like the Clintons, that this person was not a citizen. And that didn't make any difference. The powers behind government wanted him in there, and that's how it happens.
Well, the question is, they wanted him. Why? I mean, I look at that and I see ammunition disappearing from the shelves in the stores around the country, and I mean, has he been selected because he's willing to do things that someone who was really born in this country just could not bring themselves to do? That's the peculiar question that sits in the back of my mind, and it may be, a little bit paranoid, but I can't just turn my back on it.
Well, he's a Muslim and a Marxist, and I think, they can go either way on this. They can finally decide we've got to get rid of this guy. He's too much of a